This is Chuck Schaefer of Customer TV, and I am joined by Anthony Lai, Senior Vice President of Oracle. Anthony, thank you for joining me today.
Pleasure.
Anthony, I want to talk about customer experience, but I'd like to set that conversation with some context. When I talk to business leaders, it has become clear that customer experience is at or near the tops of their agendas. What's unclear, though, is what they mean by that. When I ask them how they define or describe customer experience or customer experience management, I seldom get the same answer twice. So from the Oracle perspective, can you help me define or describe what Oracle means by customer experience?
To me, customer experience is the only sustainable point of differentiation that a company has left. Products will commoditize faster and faster. Pricing, isn't always the best strategy to discount, and so relationships become an imperative. And so customer experience to me is a business strategy. It's a strategy that forces an organization to think outside in and put the customers in the middle of their business. And what they have to do is create journeys or experiences that delight the customer. And they have to do this not just on each and every channel, but they have to allow the customer to start that experience on one channel and potentially end it on a different channel by way of many other channels. So customer experience for me and for Oracle is about delighting or improving upon a relationship by leveraging all of the assets that are available to you, but really thinking as an organization from the customer's perspective and making the customer the primary sort of point of interaction.
Let me continue on your thinking and also bring what I find to be interesting in terms of the delta between that type of strategy and the implementation or execution of that type of strategy. From your point, from your description, customer experience is simple, it's well understood, it's easily grasped, it's almost self-evident. But from the execution of that strategy, it gets very complex.
Yeah.
I think we can agree that a customer's experience is the customer's perception or emotion of the vendor that they do business with based upon the sum of the experiences with that vendor.
Yep.
But from the vendor's perspective, for them to organize and to optimize that customer experience throughout the customer life cycle, at every customer interaction touch point and across all channels is very complex.
It is. I think it's that there are sort of two aspects to solving the problem. I think there's the technical dimension, and I think we believe that with the technology that we've built and acquired, we have a very strong and capable platform to enable the delivery of those experiences across those channels. The other part of the equation, though, is the sort of the organizational problem. And I will tell you that more often than not, the biggest impediment toward a customer experience strategy is the organization. You cannot support a customer experience-based strategy if the VP of e-commerce competes for business with the VP of retail. You cannot have two channels in conflict with one another because their measures, their KPIs, put them in that position. So to me, to really align an organization to a strategy, you have to have people who understand and are measured by the success of that cross-channel, by the success of the definition. The technology can work if it's incorporated by an organizational model that allows it to work.
So from your experience thus far, prior to considering technology, the organization first has to consider customer experience from a cultural perspective. It must be in the DNA of the organization from the C-suite on down, mapped into business processes. At that point, seemingly, it's time to apply technology. How does Oracle recommend going about the enabling technology component?
Well, I think it's a journey. I think what we're trying to suggest to companies is that they can't really bite off a single transformation of all channels, of all experiences across marketing, selling, and service. What they have to do, I think, is recognize where they believe that they can get a quick win, where they can break the problem down into smaller, more digestible pieces and attach value to a particular part of the process, and really start to think and to design around that particular process. So what we've seen customers do, we've seen customers start to abstract the definition of customer away from the transactional systems and to master customer, so that they can at least have a sort of a single source of truth that can then be accessed by all of the different technologies in all of the different channels. And then they'll be sort of driven by their strategy to look at enhancing their experiences on some of the newer, more disruptive channels. So today, everybody has to have a social strategy. Everybody has to have a mobile strategy. So they're two areas where, again, we think organizations can start to embrace the overall transformation and get quick wins.
For at least 3 years, you have been working with Oracle and acquiring companies and technologies that facilitate these various customer touchpoints. You have integrated many, you continue to integrate some. You're building a customer experience suite solution. Now, there is an age-old argument that I don't need to remind you of suites versus best of breed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think are the benefits from the Oracle suite relative to a best of breed approach?
Well, I got very lucky. I managed to buy all of the best of breed companies. And so if you look at our suite, it really is a best of suite. We purchased ATG, the world's best, e-commerce platform. We purchased FatWire, the world's best platform for marketing experiences. We purchased Endeca, the world's best platform for search experiences. We purchased Inquirer, the world's best platform for support experiences. We purchased RightNow, the world's best platform for service experiences. And for social, we picked up Vitru, we picked up Collective Intellect and Involver. 3 best-of-breed products to complement the social monitoring and listening dimensions and the social marketing dimensions. So I actually feel that what Oracle has done is we've pulled together a best-of suite as we start to provide end-to-end solutions by incorporating business processes that cross that suite. I believe we're going to be able to give our customers the best in each area and move them towards an integrated suite.
Anthony, what advice would you give to a business leader that has determined that he or she needs to implement a customer experience strategy for the benefits you've cited earlier and is just now about to get started?
I think it's a couple of points I would suggest. The first is, let's understand the sort of the overall strategy and then try and slice it up into sort of chunks that can be easily digested. I would look at the problem across what we call the infinite loop, the stages of a particular relationship on the buy side and then on the serve side, the support side. And we've tried very, very clearly to identify what those phases are. And we've tried to sort of associate solutions for each one of those phases, recognizing that customers may start on one particular part of that journey. So I think it's important to sort of define the strategy and align the organization to it. Then I think it's important to then sort of break the problem down into sort of smaller, more digestible chunks, and then really to sort of align the company's strategy, I think, with a strong vendor. We hope that's us. Mm-hmm. And then I think a strong partner. And so, we think through our efforts and through the independent companies' efforts that we've acquired, we've put a strong focus on the partner network, and we've put a strong focus on customer success. And so I think those things, we believe, start to enable our customers to sort of step into this transformation and to see returns very, very quickly.
Well, with that advice, I think we're at a good break point to conclude our conversation. This is Chuck Schaefer. I've been joined by Anthony Lai, Senior Vice President of Oracle. Anthony, thank you for joining me today.
Pleasure.